'Cause I'm the ideal. I want you to feel when I keep it real. Alright guys, we are going to go ahead turn down the music here.
Yeah, let's turn down the music.
Whoa, you're loud.
Let's turn my mic up.
You're kind of loud.
How about now? Can you guys hear us now?
Can they not hear us? They should be able to hear us.
Matthew Harris says he thought it was DJ Khaled. Killing it, dude.
Wish I had some DJ Khaled money. Money.
All you have to do to get that sort of money is say, another one. And then at the beginning
Another
of
one.
No, that's not it. You need it without that.
Another one.
No, that's bad too.
Okay. We'll just leave it alone then.
And then really
Very
quiet,
low.
so quiet, very low. Sound up, not really, loud and clear. Still a bit low. What's your DJ name, Robert McCall? My DJ.
We're peaking on some of these things.
My DJ name
Hold
is.
on, I think maybe let me try this real quick. Let's see if that made a difference, guys.
My DJ name is DJ
Lots of white noise.
DJ Robert.
It's so weird. I got to figure this mixer out. Is that better? I turned the phone up, which is where they're connected to. What if I got to do this
DJ
guy?
Robert. That's me.
DJ Robert. That's so clever.
I'd say I'm very creative.
Better audio. Smashbox. Better audio. What do you mean?
Lots of white noise
Is
still.
it getting better, or it sounds better, or
A lot of background noise, much better.
sounds great? There's some background white. Yeah, I've got to figure that little background white noise out.
I'm telling you, it's the power source, man.
No, I did it. I did, right now it's in the extent. I got to get a cord.
That's what I'm saying. It's
sound better. See, yeah, I think because I was messing with it and I turned the phones down, which is what this is plugged into. Because we got to plug the phone. We got to make it to where the live stream picks it up and separately the actual audio podcast. That's why we sound okay to us, but it didn't sound good to them.
Quick Draw McCall. I like that. It's pretty solid. DJ Bobby Big Putt. I like that. MC McCall. If that's fair. Nate Stock says, Robert McCall for president. Maybe pre-hole 6 at Monkey Island, Robert. Thank you, Nate. That's how I want everyone to remember me.
Where are you?
Huh? I scrolled up quite a bit. Oh, you're saying for the camera.
A little bit.
Okay.
gas.
Got a little
bit.
shadow back here.
You're a shadow.
See it?
Yeah.
Do you care? You want me to scoot it?
Nah, at this point, I'm not really that. I mean, I suppose we could move the lights a little bit, but I think they can see us. I'm going to set an auto. How do I do this? I forgot.
Sean, the Waffle Wardens should be live. I think they're the third release. So, like, next couple weeks here. Maybe 3 weeks. I think that's right. Dang it, I forgot to bring the donuts.
You were all talking about him and everything. That you should go home and get.
Forgot. I'm interested. I will go now.
No, we need to do this.
Kevin, I mean,
really-
you know it. So,
We need to get this going.
Legendary E, that's what I'm talking about. He said Robert makes putts that Oakley couldn't make in a million years, McCall. It wasn't even a favorable edit. I actually made it the first time. Yes. Danny's usually pretty nice on the edit, but this time I actually made it first time.
All right, so we got a lot to get to. He sounds so high, though. Oh, we sound high, like tingy.
Tinny? Test.
Maybe that's a little bit. Whoa.
Took a little bit out, yeah.
That probably looked. Okay, so we are here at the Disc Golf Answer. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
and we have a short amount of time because going live at 3 p.m. Central is Eric Oakley. He's going to do a Dynamic Discs Raider live Q&A. In fact, I think I saw someone ask about when the first runs were going to be available. They're going to be available on the site, online at our store, and any other store, April 5th, this Friday at 11 a.m. Central. So get ready to pick yourself up 1 or 2.
Multiple.
Or 3. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the audio started, and we're going to start with the podcast.
These feel really good, man.
Actually, I need to bring the speak pipe.
Pretty domey, too. I like it.
Do I dare say it? You go.
Nice. Smittens says, I lost my Leopard 3. What's a similar disc in the dynamic lineup? Smittens, I got a disc for you. Here it is. This here is Lucid X Maverick. Zach Melton Signature Edition Lucid X Maverick. It's good. You can also just get a Lucid Maverick. That's going to be good as well. These are a hair more overstable, but they're both very good. Johnny said, whoa, echo on everyone now.
There's an echo in everyone? Come on. For sure, is he just messing with us?
I don't think he's just messing with us.
I really... Oh, wait, maybe that's what it is.
How about now, Johnny?
It'll take a minute. I really hate this stuff. GBO is so close. I don't hate it. I like this stuff, but it's annoying. Keeping it real, apparently. Getting double audio. Echo, 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 echo. We'll see if it's doing it now here in a few minutes.
He said it's only on the other shot. It's gone now. Gone now.
Yeah.
It's gone. Not
You're
now.
gone.
Just the one camera.
Yeah, I set the settings now. It was when it was on auto switch back to the camera, but the line in will be the main line. And now I've turned
Switch
it
to the
off.
other camera and see if that does anything.
Now, what do I sound like? Camera 1. Camera 2. It should be good to go. Close-up camera. Sounds good to me. Hiss is gone. All the major online retailers are out of Gold Line Rivers. DD stores also out. Are they not being made
They're
anymore?
still being made.
Yeah.
Usually burst.
Did you guys get yesterday, Bobby and Robert?
Got. I did not get got.
I made it, so I wasn't going to get got. Oh, he's just talking about...
He's talking about his article, and
Oh.
no,
I didn't get got.
I saw straight through it, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. All right, let's get going.
Hey, let's get going.
Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, and I'm with me, Robert. Didn't bring the donuts, McCall.
Forgot the donuts.
So, right before lunch, He was just raving about these donuts.
I wasn't raving. I just said I have
Danny.
good...
Even Danny looked at me. He was raving about these donuts.
He looked at you because he was like, I wouldn't have said raving. That's what.
No.
I read it in his eyes.
His mustache even twirled up a little bit more.
I have great emotional intelligence. I could tell what he was saying.
Great emotional. I have a lot of empathy. I can empathize
yes,
with
I'm very empathetic.
his sadness. So anyway, Robert was talking up these donuts about, like, I never eat donuts, but man.
I don't love donuts, but these are my favorite donuts for sure.
That's raving.
That is hardly raving. I didn't come in and say,
these
are the best donuts that ever happened.
Your voice was a little higher when you talked about
These are the best donuts.
Anyway.
They are my favorite donut for sure.
So as soon as the show's over, he said he's going to go home and get the donuts.
I don't.
Maybe not. The good thing is I live right next to him, so whatever donuts we don't have now, I can have later.
Yeah, I'll bring some.
All right, cool.
They're so good. Round Rock Donuts, if you haven't heard of them, get to know them.
So we have a lot. We don't have a lot of time today because at 3 p.m. Central on Facebook Live, Eric Oakley is going to go live and do a live Q&A for the Dynamic Discs Raider. We are super excited about this particular release, just because we are. And do you hear that?
I do hear that.
It's driving me nuts. You know what the problem is? Part of the problem is we have to every time we set up, then we have to tear down for other stuff, and then we have to set up again. We tear down.
You know what we ought to propose is just to get a totally separate podcast room.
I've always wanted that.
Okay, well, I'm ready.
Do you have an extra room?
Of course.
All right.
Spare bedroom at my house.
Yeah. So anyway, Eric Oakley is going to go live, and he's going to do something on Facebook Live. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now, get ready to watch Facebook Live at 3 p.m. for Eric Oakley to do his thing and talk about the Dynamic Discs Raider. But for now, we're going to hop into...
Am I Romantic lives 15 minutes from Round Rock Donuts. Let me know when you need some. Am I Romantic? Every day is when I need some.
Every day. Nice. All right, so we're going to hop into the questions. Guys, remember, as always, you can send your questions in to discgolfansman.com. We will try to get them on the air.
Dude, there you go. Johnny says that little room with a green screen right over here. Easy.
We used to do it in there a long time ago. That was before we had the huge table, before we had 3 people, and before Temp needed a place to do photos.
Seems rude.
It is rude. We'll figure it out. We'll be okay.
Well, will we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someday.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
Someday. All right, this question is from Austin. He says, I've heard a lot of hype about the Keystones.
Nice.
I think I would really like them as a new throwing putter. When can the public purchase them in premium plastic? I'm far too busy with work to be able to play in the AM match play, and I would because those Moonshine Keystones look gorgeous. Gorgeous.
He just said gorgeous, but
I am also... I am also emotional intelligent.
Oh yeah, you're very emotional.
But
intelligent.
I'm very,
you
very
could tell what he was trying to
form
say.
intelligent as well, and I could tell in the form he meant gorgeous.
Nice, good for you, man.
Yeah.
You can get one of those. You don't have to play in a USA NPC bracket to get a Moonstone Keyshine. Moonshine Keystone. You don't have to play in one of those.
Oh, guess what? Go
are
ahead.
some people.
I'll be right back.
Okay, great. There are some TDs could order up to 16 of the premium Moonshine Keystones for their bracket just to sell to whomever. They're not necessarily for participants. So if you know somebody who is running one of the Amateur Match Play Championship brackets, get with them. They'll probably have your best shot at getting one of those.
All right, special treat for just our YouTubers.
Wow, okay.
I was handed this. Speaking of Keystone, this is a Latitude 64.
Latitude.
Retro, right?
This is retro, I believe, yeah.
The retro Keystone, and you guys get a close-up look of them.
Bam.
Bam. So we got these because we're going to do some Is This Disc Right For You? Anthony and Danny are going to do like a challenge where they're going to play with just the Trilogy Challenge discs.
Spoiler, this disc is right for you.
Yes, it is. This is a good disc. Oh, and we also have the Vandal, which I was throwing at the Life Church course, and I was really liking the Vandal.
Yeah, must be nice to have some Vandals.
You gave me yours.
Must be nice.
You could have said no. It is nice.
Must be nice.
But anyway, I was throwing it, and I can't wait to get throw them at a Trilogy Challenge. Now we're still waiting on the
Gatekeeper Fusion Gatekeeper,
and then we're going to get out there and do some filming. Anyway, that was just sorry, audio listeners. You'll have to maybe catch up.
Got to tune in. So, Austin, contact somebody who ran a USA NPC bracket. there's a decent chance that they have some of those moonshine keystones for you.
Let's see. Next one is from Rose. Every rose has its thorns.
Dude, you want every one of these to get copyright pinged,
Yeah,
don't you?
I know.
You have to quit imitating the song so well.
What's Seal's song?
Kissed by a Rose.
Oh. First of all, thank you for everything you guys do for the sport. You really have no idea how many players you help out. Well,
Thanks,
you're
Rose.
welcome. I'm a fan of out-of-production discs. Is there a special order that can be placed with a certain minimum quantity to get discs that are in that status, or any way to order them? The Latitude 64 Trident is the disc I'm referring to. Well, typically what out-of-production means is we don't produce them anymore.
Are you sure?
So we wouldn't have any to give you.
No. I think she's saying to have. I assume it's she by the name Rose. To have them made, like maybe through the custom run program or something like that.
We put them out of production for a reason, because they weren't like top sellers. But we understand that some people really like it, so every now and then we will do it. But I don't think it's a thing that you can ask for. It's like a thing we'll be like, hey,
we're doing a special run.
Yeah, let's make a few hundred Tridents.
Yeah. Now I know that retailers have the opportunity to do a custom run program where you can order 1,000 of pretty much any disc, and Latitude will make that for you. And so if you have a retailer around you who'd be willing to make 1,000 of those, you can have some of those.
On the out of production stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I would say that I think there are Tridents still around. I mean, you can still find them relatively easily right now.
Yeah. All right, next one comes from Austin again. He says, hey, DeGam fam. First off, I want to say I purchased a Warden because Robert was such an advocate, and I must say it fell short to all the hype.
Well,
Robert or the Warden?
get it. Well, both, but maybe get some new arms or something.
I then purchased Deputy because I have to take Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze suggested, and it is a fantastic.
Did you write this? Yeah. Seems like you wrote this.
Austin is Bobby spelled backwards.
Is it?
Yeah.
The math checks out.
Right. So he says, fantastic putter, hashtag Team Deputy. My question to you guys is the FD2 second run is a highly rated disc due to flight and guide? What would be a good match or close to the trilogy lineup? I'm hoping to sneak away from Tulsa to meet you guys at GBO.
Nice.
Tulsa's about a 3-hour drive, so you should be able to sneak away.
Okay, the FD2 second run. I am not super familiar with all of Discmania's discs. I would assume the FD
Anthony throw any FD2s?
Yeah, the closest thing to an FD2 would probably be like Explorer.
That was what I was going to say. Yeah,
Okay.
So Anthony is a little bit more familiar with their disc, and he says either an Explorer or a Spark would be good options. So this is a pretty neutral flying fairway, slightly overstable at the end. Yeah, check out either the Explorer or the Spark. I prefer the Explorer. It was 2018 Disc of the Year. What's up? So check it out.
And keep on with the Team Deputy. Keep on keeping on.
Do not keep on.
Don't make me put the effects on your voice.
Cut. I'll just not talk the rest of the episode.
Next one is from Philip. Okay. All right. We're going to have to. I have to do it with this, right? We're going to have to keep it real.
It's the dumbest. I will never say it's not the dumbest. Go ahead.
I don't know if it's ever come up, but has the PDJ stated anything regarding transgender athletes? What is to stop a guy who decides he wants to compete as a female in PDJ major events? What's to stop Paulina Macbeth and Robin McMahon from winning FPO Worlds for the next 25 years? My understanding, I think my latest understanding, I don't know if it's new, but I believe that the PDJ actually follows the Olympics standard when it comes to gender and where you can sign up as far as divisions. So if you're curious how the PDJ would handle it, you can actually just look up what Olympic standards for probably gender Olympic standards, and that's the standard that they follow.
I know, man. I know the name for it, but I'm forgetting it right now. But there was a convention or something like that where they decided kind of the rules for it. If you're currently undergoing a sex reassignment or something like that. Yeah.
So just look that up, and that's my understanding. Again, now I don't think that's changed, but because that happened maybe a couple 2 years ago.
That's what they're still following.
Yeah, so that's what they're still following. All right, this question's on courses. It's from Ashton. My city doesn't have any good courses nearby. The closest one is 30 minutes away. What is the best way to go about getting my city to install a course? I'm willing to build it myself, but how do I convince the city it's beneficial for the community, even if it's just a 9-hole?
What do you think?
So here's what most of the, okay. So if you think of a city or community, they're basically, their objective is to make it to where the community and the people that live there enjoy living there so they don't leave, right? And then they're going to figure out, and then they do things so that people are attracted to their town or to their community. So you've got to show the community the benefits of having a disc golf course. I really wish to, I mean, I guess there's a set formula. I don't know if there's certain steps, but you've got to figure out even if people would come to your course, if it was even created. You've got to find the land to do it on. You've got to find out all the red tape you have to go through to see if that land even can have it. I mean, there's a lot.
Right.
Let's see. My city doesn't have any good courses nearby. What is the best? I mean, first off, you got to find a place where could a course go.
Yeah.
I say email coursesales@dynamicdisc.com. See if maybe somebody there can maybe kind of give you some ways. Even visit our website, dynamiccoursedesign.com, and you might be able to get some information there. But there's so many first steps you got to take to see if it's, in other words, if there's a step or two you got to take care of before you can even go to the next step. You got to see even if it's an idea that can even happen in your area. I know that was really vague.
Yeah, I mean, just going through the proper channels is the way to do it. Trying to do it all by yourself and be like, I'm putting this in, I don't care. That's the wrong way to do it. But you do, like you said, you do have to convince them that it's a worthwhile endeavor to have a course put in right there. So maybe that'll bring more attention to a park, or that you can run fundraiser tournaments to beautify the park or something like that.
See, even someone on here, the dude said it took us 5 years to get our course.
Wow.
So you've definitely got to have some tenacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, good word. This next one is from Brandon. I've been practicing every day, give or take.
Give or take. I've been practicing every day, give or
so.
take, as well.
for the past month, and I've noticed a threshold where my form breaks down after the hour or two mark.
Yeah.
How long do you guys allocate to practice in one session?
Well, I mean, if you think about when you go play a round of disc golf, if you're just playing by yourself, usually that's, hour and a half, or a little bit quicker if it's a shorter course, a little bit longer if it's a longer course. But if you're playing tournament rounds, those are maybe 3 or 4 hours, right? But you're not just throwing back to back to back to back to back, right? Yes. So when you go and practice, I think it's really good to, less is more when you practice. You want to get quality reps and not tire yourself out. And so when I go do field work, I'm usually not out for longer than 30 or 45 minutes, just because I want to work on usually one specific thing, make sure I'm familiar with the disc that I'm throwing. Maybe I'm working on release point or footwork or something like that. But I don't want to do it to the point where I'm exhausted, because then you're just teaching yourself bad habits. So I would tend more towards that half an hour, 45-minute mark. Caleb says every day, give or take a day.
Yeah. This one's from Chris Rico. What's going on, Dynamic Disc team and general manager?
Yes, I am Dynamic Disc general manager.
I have been struggling with form for a long time. I seem to get a great shot every now and then. I was wondering, what are some drills and tips on working on your form, especially making sure the disc comes out flat? Also, do you all have any tips on grip when it comes to small hands? Thank you all so much, and continue to change the game. He put little dots in there. I think this is
ellipses.
I think this is what he wanted.
I guarantee that.
Change the game. Yeah, that's what he wanted.
That's definitely not what he wanted.
We'll see what he says. What do you think?
Okay, so tips or drills working on your form. I'm kind of in the same boat as Danny here. I don't think drills are awesome. I think it's better to learn just by doing a lot, right? Like there's some drills that can help you with a few things, but I think starting from the basics and working up from there is probably the best way to go about it. So if you're having trouble getting the disc out flat, but everything else in your throw is good, then what you want to work on is maybe just stand still for a minute, reach back as flat as you can, and then bring the disc through flat, kind of in that power pocket area, and then follow through flat. That's going to be the key. Once you can do that standing still, it's quite a bit easier to do that with a one step and then a run up and things like that. And so I would definitely spend some time slowing it down and just making sure that even at slow speeds, your arm is coming through flat. I think that's the key.
There you go. All right, let's see if we can grab one from Speak Pipe.
Okay.
Check the volume here. Hold on. We don't want to blow our ears away. Here we go. Nope. Hold on. Oh, music is still going.
Caleb, if you need a picture of my face when Bobby uses the board, it's just going to be like this. There you go. You're welcome.
What is up, guys?
What's up?
Got a quick question for you in regards to putting. I try keeping my putts flat, and I do that by keeping my disc flat when I'm pulling back, so I have a greater chance of the putt being flat when I release. But I've been noticing with a lot of people, especially the pros like Paul, when they're pulling back their disc, it's on a bit of a hyzer angle. But then when they release it, it ends up being flat. My question for you guys is, how does that not mess them up? How do you end up going from a hyzer angle on a pullback, but somehow manage to release it flat when you let it go? Do you guys advise that to new to intermediate players as well? And is there any advantage to doing that? Thanks for your time, guys, and just keep doing what you're doing.
What do you think?
Good question. I've noticed that as well. I think a lot of guys pull back on slight hyzer, and that's probably just because that's the natural angle that their wrist feels comfortable on. I think when you watch Paul putt, his hand opens up pretty wide compared to most people. I mean, it's usually really committed. But he also kind of pops his fingers up just a little bit, so it's not like it's not just hand straight out at the basket every single time. It is sometimes, but a lot of those you'll see a little bit of hyzer on. But even though he's pulling down on hyzer, something in his pull through is getting that disc up to flat, and I would assume it's kind of popping his fingers up just a little bit so that it starts flat. I would not recommend that. It works for him. It might work for you, but I think pulling back on the same angle as you intend to release it on is probably a good way to go about it. So that's what I would keep doing if you're doing that.
All right, back to Google Forms. We got one from this is Malichi.
No, that's Malichi, but it was Malachi
When was it?
a while ago.
Oh, you mean, okay.
Malachi.
Malichi. So I got my hands on a digital weight Lucid Suspect at a local Trilogy distributor pop-up store. It is lime green with a hint of red swirl in the plastic. It is the best feeling disc I have ever held in my hands. I would love to find another one like it. Where can I find one? I picked up a newer Lucid Suspect, but it was too domey and the plastic wasn't as gummy. It just doesn't feel the same.
Well, digital weight Lucid Suspects are some of the first ones that were run, and so you're talking now about discs that are 5 years older, a little bit older.
Yeah.
I do think the plastic blend was maybe slightly different back then, but also just as discs age, their plastic starts to feel different. If you really want to find another one, I would go to like the Facebook page Trilogy Rarities or something like that, and just ask if anybody has any digital weight Suspects. That's going to be your best bet because you won't find them at retailers unless you just get lucky.
Next one is from Samuel. I really like the feel and consistent release of a hard putter. However, I'm struggling with the grip sometimes when it gets a bit colder or when there is dust, dirt on my hands. In addition to this, my hands are on the drier side of the spectrum, which doesn't help with grip. I use a fan grip for putts. Which plastics do you like for putters? Are there any tricks to always having the same grip and feel when using harder putters? Gripping the disc differently? Special lotions?
Special lotions is the answer.
Basically, we're going to come out with a new Be Dynamic lotion.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice. It's one day past April Fool's. You can.
Yeah. Oh,
you can tell them now. Okay. Yes, I prefer putting with a hard plastic putter, and you said he's struggling with grip when it's colder or when there's dust or dirt on his hands. Okay.
Yeah.
So definitely clean your hands off before you putt, because my goal, like you were saying, every time is to have the same grip on my putter. And so what I've started to do, I'm not saying that this is great for everybody, but what I've been doing for a little while is I'll lick my thumb and then just kind of dry it off with my other fingers, that helps to create just like a little bit of tack in between my thumb and the putter, and then my other fingers as well. It feels like my fingers don't slip around quite as much when I do that, and so that's what I go with. I see people like breathe on the disc like it's cold outside. If you just put it up close to your mouth and just, then you can feel a little moisture under there, and then it feels grippier afterwards. You can do that, or you can just keep a towel around that you only use that when you're wiping off your hands for putting. There's a lot of options. That's the one I go with.
Or you can use the new Be Dynamic lotion, patent pending. Next question
patent
comes
pending.
from
No stealing it.
Yeah. Next one is from Anonymous. This might be a team, maybe someone that's on our team. I am part of a company's team, already not the biggest team on their list of teams, but I do get access to new molds faster than the regular public or even reduced price and etc., which I'm very grateful for. I am rated in the higher 980s and am still an amateur player. I'm moving into open very soon. What should I do if I want to move up a higher team in the ranks? Should I prove myself with wins, or should I ask the team uppers to see if I'm ready to move up? Do companies pay higher team members?
Cool, good question.
Excellent grammar.
Not so much. So if you're already on a team, I would go straight to the person who manages that team and ask them, what do I need to do to move up to the next team? Because it's different for different companies. We have people who are on some of our higher teams who are good players, but not great players, but they're there because they take care of business. They run events. They run clinics. It's a business.
Business.
Killing in my business. I know you like that one.
Business.
Good. Anyway, you should talk directly to that person and just see what they think about that. When it comes to companies paying higher up players, I think most companies pay some of their higher up players. I think the compensation is just different from player to player. Most of our player contracts at the touring level are different from player to player. And then when you're on the not very, very top level, most of them are really similar. But you have differences when it comes to bonuses, big wins, things like that. So, it might be good to ask some people on the team if they think you're ready to move up. You could also just go and directly ask the person who manages that team what you need to do to move up to the next level. So, yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm actually almost 980, so I probably should take his advice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I got a team manager for you to call.
I bet you do.
Yeah. It's actually just a manager.
Oh, just the manager?
Yeah, the whole company manager.
All right, let me see if I can get this name. This is Mikhail.
That would be Michael.
Even spelled that way?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, Maikel looks
Mikhail.
more like
Mikhail.
looks more like Michael or Michael than it does Mikhail.
Okay, well, I'll give you that. It sounds like Mikhail.
You should give me that.
I'm going to give you... What's up, guys? When looking around for merchandise, I've noticed that many brands have some awesome merchandise other than discs. For example, Dynamic Discs and Latitude have amazing bags, shirts, and caps, etc. However, I've noticed that Westside Discs does not seem to spend as much time and effort in merchandise. I'm a proud owner of a Westside Discs cap, but that's about it. As someone who currently throws Westside exclusively, I would like to know whether there are plans for more Westside merchandise.
We have Westside merchandise occasionally, not all the time. So you guys know that Westside was purchased jointly by Latitude 64 and Latitude 64 and Dynamic Discs. I guess it was last year, or 2 years ago, or something like that. And since then, we've had a little bit more apparel here and there. But right now, we usually just focus on, like, DD makes its own apparel, right? Latitude makes their own apparel, and then we carry some of it for them. And so Westside, I think we do intend to have some more apparel. It's just when that'll be out, couldn't tell you. I certainly don't have my finger on the pulse of that.
This one
Do
is
you have anything to add to that?
I have no pulse. This one's from
That's
Justin. Hey, Disc Golf Answerman crew. I just finished up a few rounds this opening weekend at the new Heritage Park in Flower Mound. EMAC, great job on the design. We'll have to pass on the message since... Oh, we haven't explained why Eric isn't here. I'm sure you guessed that he is out designing a course. In fact, he posted something on his Facebook. He's headed to... Did he, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's headed to Canada, so something's happening in Canada. I have a few questions on courses. Maybe we should save this one for him. Yeah, we'll save that
I
one
think
for
we
him.
should.
Yeah, we'll move on to number 34 question. William. Alvin, Texas just awarded $787 million for a 24/7 lighted disc golf course. Are there any others like this in the United States?
There are other 24/7 lighted disc golf courses. I don't think that they were given $787 million.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to call you on that.
I'm also not sure that
William.
Alvin, Texas awarded that. I don't know much about Alvin, but I don't think they have that sort of money to just
Do you
toss
think people,
around.
when they live there, they go, "Where are you from?" Alvin. Do you think they do that?
I don't think so.
No. I'm sorry, William. I have to call on you on that. I don't think they awarded $787 million just for a 24/7 live.
Maybe it was
disc course.
$787.
That's more realistic.
Bobby's Googling now. He Googled Alvin, Texas, $787 million.
There's plans for a $100 million Alvin Hospital.
Maybe that's what he was thinking.
Winner of $48 million lottery in Alvin is still a mystery. The Alvin Zoo for sale. Oh, that's 2 years ago. It's for sale for $7 million if you want. If anybody's interested, they probably sold it by now.
Yeah. I think we can just move on to the next question.
Are
probably.
you sure? I want to solve this mystery.
I don't know. Let's move on.
Okay, Alvin or William, one of the two, maybe check back with us and let us know what's really going on.
Redbeard, seeing you on the chat. Thanks for submitting this question. Let's get after it.
All right, etiquette mental game. I tend to be very competitive with myself and also easily distracted. I've noticed myself getting overly frustrated when others talk as I'm trying to prepare for my shot, and it has a drastic impact on my focus and therefore my game.
Yes.
This happens more in casual, and I don't want to come off as a negative person to play with when it's casual, just casual. Are earbuds generally seen as negative? Forums seem to think so. Do you have any suggestions for dealing with distractions or maintaining focus? So I'm not in your circle of casual rounds, but I know when I play a casual round here, we've got music going, we're telling jokes, we're referencing The Office or Arrested Development, or we're razzing each other, making fun of each other. So if your circle of disc golf buddies do that in a casual round, you're either going to have to figure out how to work around it,
or get new buddies,
or you just gotta. It almost sounds like to me, a casual round is a casual. I'm
just
not
chilling.
Focused. I'm not trying to get shots correct or whatever. I'm just chilling, just throwing, getting my, having some fun. Obviously seeing how some discs fly. It sounds to me that this maybe is more than just a casual round. You're really concentrating on your game, and maybe you need to figure out maybe that needs to be more of practice rounds where you are by yourself.
Yeah. I would say if it distracts you to the point where it's not enjoyable or you can't focus up, I don't think earbuds are that bad. You just have to be careful about the amount which you are distracted by them, right? So if you're playing and you're keeping score and somebody says, "Hey, what'd you get?" and you've just got your headphones in and you're just, bobbing your head and listening to whatever, and they have to go out of their way to get your attention, yeah, that's bad. But if you're just putting them in while you get ready to throw, I've done that before when I was really, really distracted, just put in some headphones, listen to music or whatever for the 20 or 30 seconds that I'm throwing, then let the shot go and then take them out. You might look into something like that. What do you think, Bobby? More?
Someone put on Thursday, Alvin City Council approved they plan to spend $787,500,000.
No,
$787,000.
$787,000. Yes.
For a lighted disc golf course to be installed in city-owned.
That's awesome.
That's a little more.
That's $787,000 makes totally.
Yes,
that makes more sense.
I want to see
I don't know.
the article.
That sounds pretty legit.
$787,000. I mean, of course, Texas is pretty big, so
it is.
Yeah, that might not be.
Yeah, that's cool.
Send me the article. See if you can put the article link in there. What were we talking about?
Let's
Speak Pipe. Let's do a Speak Pipe question.
Okay, let's.
What is up, Disc Golf Answer Man crew? This is Mikey from New Orleans.
Hello, Mikey.
First off, I wanted to say thank you for the Is This Disc Right For You segments that you do. Those are normally very helpful for me.
Normally?
In a perfect world, when these new discs come out, I would be able to buy and test out all of them, but normally I just don't have the money to do that. So thank you for that.
Speaking of that, just real quick, we have the Guard, we have the Vandal that's coming out, and of course we have the Trilogy Challenge discs. So we have a few discs that we would have already put it out had the weather been nicer. But now that the weather is getting more consistently nicer here in Emporia, start looking for more Is It Disc Right For You stuff on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And because of those videos, that was the very reason I decided to try the Defender.
Nice.
And now I bag 4 Defenders. So
Sweet.
very appreciative that y'all did that for us. I do have a disc-related question. Right now, my go-to backhand roller disc is a Latitude River, but sometimes I'm finding that on some of these longer holes, it doesn't have quite the distance. There's a couple holes in my home course where it's kind of a low ceiling shot, but it's a good, pretty far distance, and I need a little bit more distance out of my roller. So what would be a good disc, maybe a little bit faster than a River? It would be a good backhand roller disc. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and as always, keep it real.
Something just faster than a River. You might look into the Vandal when it comes out. I think it might be a little more stable than what you're looking for, but once you work one in, that'll be really good. What I rolled for quite a while was a Renegade. I can send you this link. What I rolled for a while was a Renegade. I really liked that. It is pretty fast, pretty understable, but I like it for rollers. I mean, you've got to get on it to get it down, but once you do, you can get some really good distance out of it. So that's it. We just got the Alvin Sun article about spending the $787,000 for a lighted disc golf course, and
Nice.
it wasn't published on April 1st.
Wow.
So that's cool.
That's awesome.
But not 787 million.
Right.
That is different.
That's much different.
For that, you could just make a whole new city.
Right. But that is awesome. I think
Yeah,
that's
super
really
cool.
cool. Very cool. All right. Let's next question.
Next question.
Next question. Hey guys, this was from Joey. Hey guys, my question is about trying different putters. I really like the shallow rim putters for putting, and right now my 2 favorite are the Maiden and the Deputy. I was wondering if you could recommend any of the Trilogy putters that feel similar to these. To the Maiden and the Deputy? How about the Maiden and the Deputy? And Robert, I know you're a team Warner. I really like Warding as a throwing putter. He's
Good.
just keeping it real.
Good. No, I respect it. The only other one that's as shallow as those would be the Pure. That's the only one. That's the only other one that's in that same sort of depth range. The Mercy is slightly taller than the Maiden, and probably about like a Warden. So I think if you're looking to try something a little bit more stable, try the Mercy or the Warden, obviously. But if you're looking for something a little bit straighter or slightly understable, Pure is the way to go.
Here's an interesting.
Okay.
AK Throw wants to know, what do you guys think plays more of a part? And I want to hear YouTube, so pay attention to this question. I want to see your opinions on YouTube. What do you think plays more of a part in the top pros like Wysocki, Eagle, and Macbeth's ability to win big tournaments? Is it natural talent or hard work?
Hard work.
We'll talk about it, and then you guys put your opinions in here because I want to see what your all's opinion is in the chat.
I say hard work. Yes, those guys are gifted in playing disc golf in one way or another, but the reason that they got there, and maybe they picked it up a little bit faster than other people, but the reason that they got to the place that they are is that they have worked super duper hard.
If you were to give it a percentage, because there's got to be some talent going on, right?
Of course.
Right? Because, I mean, I know guys that have been working hard, and there's a threshold they haven't seemed to be able to push through. But what percentage would you give
It's like
talent to?
Here's the deal. I feel like you could get, like, just talent-wise, you're not going to get better without practicing, plain and simple. Most people don't walk out the first time that they play disc golf and play well. They play poorly. Now, some people pick it up faster than others, but the only way that you get good from that point, the only way that you get good from that point is by working at it, is by practicing. It's not just, I can just do it. I would say maybe they're genetically predisposed less than 10% to be good at disc golf, and the rest is hard work. I see in the chat mental game and hard work. Yeah, I would agree with that. Mental game is definitely something that comes into play, but when it comes to Yeah, Johnny puts it really well. He said, natural talent is a starting point. Work brings you to the finish line. I agree 100%. You can only get so far on talent. If you're not willing to work, you're not going to do much.
I feel like that's a tweetable. Is that tweetable Smashbox?
No, that's trademarked.
Is that trademark?
It's a verbal trademark. You can't see it.
I want to address something real quick on the chat board.
Let's. Do you need to keep it real? I'll click the sign on for you. Don't use the stupid soundboard.
I'm gonna. Oh, I can't. Wait. Oh, no, I can. I'm gonna keep it real. Kinda. So, yours is turned off, so you wouldn't have the
good.
So Aaron says, I love when people say, I love this particular disc. Can you recommend a similar disc that does the same thing? Just throw the disc you already love.
Wait, are we getting off of the hard work thing? We were just talking about that.
I know we are getting off the hard work thing because you were a good answer.
What was your answer?
Same.
Whatever, man.
We'll get back to that. This is one of the things that bugs me. That's my this bugs me
Okay, yeah.
thing. Okay, so
for audio listeners, be glad you weren't watching.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to know what it's like when things bug me. Anyway,
Gosh.
so and the reason it bugs me is obviously in particular when it comes to our brands, because when people come in and they say I throw away Innova this, a Discraft this, or whatever this, and they say what's the Trilogy equivalent, and people just get on to them. But I would do it for the other way around as well. I would do it the other way. My thing is that some people prefer to support brands in their own way. So why not just let them? Right? It could be with any other product. Shoes. I could buy tennis shoes anywhere, but some people, as soon as the thing happened with Nike, people burn their Nikes. They didn't want to. It's a shoe, right? But that's what they want to do with their money. You know, obviously it was a mute point because they've already spent the money, so how are they really hurting? But anyway, that's a whole other point. But
Moot point.
Moot point. So my point is just let them be. Why do you have to even bother with it, Aaron? So what's your rebuttal for that, Aaron?
Gosh, hit him with it.
Hit it with it. No, I'm serious. I'm coming across mean, but I get it. I get it. But to me, it's like if they love this particular disc, but for whatever reason they feel like they want to support this other brand or whatever, for whatever reason, whether they like the colors that they use, they like what they stand for, they like me, whatever the reason is.
I don't think it's that one.
What is the big deal?
Yeah.
What is the big deal?
Yeah, so Aaron's clarifying in the chat, and I think this is a fair question. He says, I 100% agree. I specifically mean when people say, I love the Warden, what's another Trilogy putter that flies like the Warden?
Now
Just
that
throw
I'd
the
have
Warden.
to agree with you, Aaron. So now okay, so I'll back off.
Yeah, I'm glad you backed off of that.
So that makes a lot of sense. You're right. I don't understand. Now
It makes more sense earlier on.
But maybe the context is where they didn't clarify where they really like the feel of the Warden, but they're looking for something a little more stable.
Right.
That makes
Usually
sense.
I think that's the case.
Right.
But
Or they like the Warden what's a mid-range that kind of flies like the Warden but flies a little farther or whatnot. All right, Aaron, I'll back off. I'm sorry.
Great. Can we move on now?
Yes, I'm sorry. Forgive me, Aaron. Yeah.
He's in the chat. He said you missed my point, but he also said I forgive you.
All right, thank you. Do you really?
Oh, no. He said thanks, Robert, because I explained it in your face. I was trying to be nice on his behalf, but he supported me.
But Aaron aside, there are people that have that opinion.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so next question comes from...
That's bugs.
That's bugs?
Yeah, that's what bugs you. On to the next. This one's from Wesley William Watt from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Nice.
While watching the While watching the Las Vegas Challenge FPO finals, I noticed the women commentators complimenting the players' hair and how nice it was looking that day. My question is, why don't the male commentators do the same thing during the MPO? Really? I'm sure a lot of the players would like to hear nice compliments like that from time to time. Bobby, your head looks extra smooth today. Thank you.
I prefer hair compliments.
You prefer?
I don't know what you guys are doing.
On the next tournament coverage, we'll have Robert compliment someone's look or hair.
Now,
or something.
somebody on the chat board earlier, let me find it real quick because I think it was really important that we should talk about it. Zach says, Robert's hair, natural talent or hard work?
Oh, What do you say to that?
You know what it actually is? Natural talent.
No, I've seen him after a shower. It takes a lot of hard work.
Does it take a lot of hard
Actually,
work?
it doesn't take a lot of
No,
hard work.
I blow dry it to make sure it's all the way dry. I put stuff in it with my hands, and that's it. It's easy. But yes, I got extremely lucky. My little brother is already losing his hair a little bit, and it's pretty salt and peppery. He's got some grays and whites up there, and so I feel very blessed to have the hair that I do. Lucked out.
But yeah.
The dude says Big Germ always talks about James Conrad's hair, and that's true. Pretty awesome.
What is this? Jackson wants to know, as long as I get the proper permits from the city, county, are there any rules against using a pack animal, say a goat, mule, or llama as a caddy?
I don't think you're supposed to bring animals to the course. So,
Is there a specific rule that says that?
Let me look.
Surely there's got to be a rule that says that. I mean, maybe the default rule, or not the default rule, but the rule that covers it would be your caddy can't be a distraction. It must follow the same rules as you are as a player.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously your caddy, your llama is not going to have a polo on.
Yeah. Let's see. This is just from a discussion board talking about dogs being distracting. 801.1 courtesy. Players are responsible for the actions of their caddies. Players shall receive warnings and penalties where applicable for the actions of their caddies. So, yeah, just don't do that, please. Oh, here's 801.01G. A player violating a courtesy rule may be warned by any affected player, even from another group, or by an official, with all players of the group advised of the warning. The player shall be assessed one penalty throw for each subsequent courtesy violation of any type in the same round. Repeated violations of courtesy rules may result in disqualification in accordance with section 804.05. So, I mean, first of all, you just shouldn't do that. But if you did, and they just, yeah, you're not going to be able to control a pack animal very well. So maybe just don't do that. Next question.
Next question from Mark. This one's a much more hard-hitting question. Can you recommend a way of getting the sound of a disc hitting the chains as my text tone, message tone?
Yes. Are you ready?
Yep.
So you go outside. Hopefully it's pretty. Hold on. There's another question. We'll never see it now.
It just said, wouldn't that be sweet?
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. So go outside with your cellular telephone. Set it by the basket. Put it on voice memos. Start recording. Hit the chains.
Bang the chains.
Then put that into iTunes. You can pull ringtones from iTunes. You're welcome.
What if it's Android?
Then you've made a mistake already.
Yeah, you already. Yeah.
Something has gone awry.
I knew that was coming. All right, let's do our last speak pipe question here. This one's from Jack.
Hey, Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, Eric the Champ McCabe, and Robert. I have a question
Well done,
regarding
Jack.
PDJ tournament rules. I've noticed during casual rounds that people often like to have their dog with them on the course.
Oh,
However,
how apropos.
I have never seen someone walking their dogs while playing in a PDJ sanctioned tournament. So I was wondering if there's a rule concerning this in the PDJ guidelines, and if that's the reason I've never seen someone with their dog.
All right, Jack,
Thank
you
you.
can rewind
And keep it
about
real.
7 minutes and hear the answer to that question.
Yes.
Were y'all talking to a guy, Aaron, in the chat a minute ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
That's caribou.
Oh, nice. Sweet. Yeah, so, I can't find the rule
Do I know
on... no, I don't think you'd have. I know him because of Danny's stream.
Oh, I got you.
I know him, but he seems like a nice fellow.
I'm sorry, Aaron.
He seems nice. Yeah, people are just talking about the actual rule. I could not find the actual rule.
There is an actual rule that says no pets or no animals?
Quick search, I was not able to find the actual rule. Here you go. I found it on a quick search. This is Competition Manual 3.01 General. Letter D says, animals may not accompany players with the exception of players whose disability or medical condition requires the use of an accredited service animal. Players are required to notify the tournament director of accredited service animal usage during play. So if you have an accredited service llama, you're set.
You are set. Well, don't they have? Isn't there the lady that had the accredited service peacock?
Emotional support peacock.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel emotionally supported most.
It was accredited, probably.
Yeah, more than likely accredited as a service animal.
All right, so real quick, we're going to get our picks for next week out for skipace.com. Make sure you go to skipace.com, sign up for the DGM AM. We were already giving away 2 prizes, I believe it's been. Picks close in 2 days for the Arby's. Dallas-Fort Worth. Oh, I thought Arby's was out.
Yeah, it's just still listed on the
naming thing.
site.
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, it's not Arby's Presents anymore, but
In memoriam.
But
Arby's
it-
DFW.
But it is the Nick Hyde Memorial powered by Heiserbaum. So we're gonna go click on the PDJ page and take a look to see who's playing. Do you already know who's playing? 92 players.
I do not.
All right, we're gonna put them in rank by. We have Eagle, James, Conrad, Richie,
Wysocki.
Paul Uleberry, Philo, Garrett, Chandler Fry, Austin, Bradley, Devin, Emerson, Andrew Presnell, Andrew Marweed.
I just went ahead and said it for you. I should have waited. We could have had another Malachi moment.
Matt
and I
Bell,
jumped the gun.
Eric Oakley, Nate Perkins. So a lot of heavy hitters out there.
I am the worst.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, about 25 people 1,000 rated or over or bigger or more.
1,000 rated or bigger.
So what do you say, Robert?
Joe Padilla in the chat says Robert gets the W at Nick Hyde. So
Robert who?
Write it down. Me.
Right.
Okay, first of all, I'm not playing the event. Second of all, hateful for you to say that, okay?
All right, so what do we think?
Pre-hole 6 at Monkey Island, I was really good at disc golf.
Is that how we are to rate
I'm telling you, that's how I want to be remembered.
your performance from now on?
This is like when an elderly person gets to the end of their life and they say, I want you to remember me like this.
Is that what you're going to say at the end?
Yeah, I made that jump putt on hole 6, and I'm going to say, you know what? When my disc golf career is over, I want you to remember me before this hole. Before the rest of the round where I played very bad.
Yeah, signature disc pre-6 hole 6.
Pre-hole, yeah, that would be pre-hole 6, Rob.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through ups and downs, but mine was particularly down.
So what do you think on the Nick Hyde?
So Eagle, I'm pretty sure Eagle was out there last year. I don't remember right off the top. I mean, it's hard to bet against Eagle and Ricky right now. They're both playing really well. Usually this tournament is a little bit affected by the wind, and both those guys are able to throw both ways pretty great. So, I mean, it's kind of take your pick between Eagle and Rick. I think both of them are going to do quite well. Will you pull the list back up real quick?
Of who plays?
Yeah. James Conrad could obviously play well. Uleberry could do well out there.
Did you say what kind of course it is?
Yeah, I haven't seen the redesign of this course, but the old course was like the first 9 are wooded, and then the back 9 are a little bit more open. Definitely wind is something that you have to contend with. So I'm agree with Johnny in the chat. I'll take Ricky for the win on this one. I think he's probably got the best shot at it.
I don't see any maps out on the website.
It wouldn't be very helpful anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of hard to explain what this course is like, but I've enjoyed it the times that I've played it.
All right, so we're going for pick number 1 is going to be Richard Wysocki.
Oh, it's Richie. He prefers Richie.
Richie
Wysocki.
Richie.
Yes.
Richie.
Yes.
What do we got for pick number 2?
I really like Uleberry for courses like this. He plays well in the wind. Also, I mean, James Conrad is. Man, it's just hard to go wrong with those top few guys if you're trying to get, like the biggest bang for your buck for your top rated guys.
Do you know where Yulee is from, or at least his base is?
Sholo, Arizona.
Sholo.
Yep. So,
who are you going with?
I'm gonna say James Conrad for a second. I think both of those guys are going to play well.
All right, who's playing in the FPO field? We have Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen, Jessica Weiss, Lisa Fakis.
I mean, I think it's hard to go that Paige and Kat won't go 1-2.
You think?
Yeah.
Is Bierka still that thing still going on?
Yeah, she's still
their
working on her van,
or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
for sure.
All right, so we're going to plug in Pierce and Allen. That leaves us with 1995. We're gonna party like it's 1995.
Okay, I want to take. You know who I want to pick? I want to pick Eric Oakley. He's been playing pretty well lately.
Eric Oakley.
Mhm.
That leaves us with 981.
All right, let's get us a good sleeper.
Andrew Lackey.
I do not know Andrew Lackey.
I don't know why I know that name. Why do I know that name?
I don't know. I've never heard of him. Let's move on up a little bit. We got Andrew Lowery is a guy from Austin who's he's on Team DD. He's pretty good. Kirk Trevina has had a couple good tournaments this year.
Is he out of Texas?
Yes.
So he probably could has played. Who's out of this probably played this course more than likely?
I'm not sure.
Let's see.
You know who I want to play? Let's do Tobin Sipes. I like Tobin. He is local to the area. He's played it quite a bit.
Did you say Tobin?
Tobin, I believe in you. Yep. I think there are some other players I would like to put in that lineup, but we've spent a lot at the top, so
I'm going to put Jessica Weiss as our female alternative.
Yep.
And then I will put
Brandon New. Attaboy, Brandon.
That's
I
our
like you.
alt.
I like you, Brandon.
All right, 19 points left. We comfortable with that?
Yes.
All right, save picks. There
Wait,
you go.
you said 19 points left?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Is that good?
Oh, I mean, it's not good, but we tried our best.
All right, so we got our picks in, guys. So if you want to get your picks in, go to skipace.com for the Skip Ace Fantasy Disc Golf. And then if you beat us, you will be eligible. So I used to last year.
A lot of you will likely beat us this week.
Yeah. Last year we would give it to the number one person, but now we're mixing it up a little bit. So as long as you beat us, you are eligible to win some prizes. And I've already sent out a few discs for some winners.
Yeah, we did.
Cool. All right, it's 2:53. We only got 7 minutes left until the live. Eric Oakley goes live. I hope he remembers. He has not texted me back.
He hasn't called me during the show, so that's out of the ordinary.
So what does that mean?
I don't know.
All righty then. So let's do one more question we have here on our Disc Golf Answer Man Google. This is from Mark Julian. Hey guys, new to the sport, so this question may kind of be simple for experienced players. I have a Mamba that if I overpower it flips too easily now. My question is this: if I had the same disc in a lighter or heavier plastic, would I expect less or more turnover? Would a heavier Mamba fight the arm velocity and maybe be less prone to flip but do its natural right turn? I throw a lot of Westside and a Judge, FYI. Do your brands have a Mamba comparison? Thank you from Atlantic, Canada.
Good question, Mark. In general, heavier discs are slightly more overstable in these kind of understable molds. Occasionally, you'll have high-speed discs that are very overstable at 168, just like they are at 175, but for these lighter weight, more understable discs, I do think ones that are slightly heavier will help you out some. If you were looking for a comparison in our brands, you were talking about Westside. The first one that comes to mind for me is the Westside Underworld. It's a pretty understable fairway driver. Maybe not quite as understable as a Mamba, but I think pretty close. So, yeah, that's what I would go for.
That good?
I think that's good, man.
It's that good?
It is, in fact, that good.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And this is kind of a short episode. Well, we went about almost an hour for our audio listeners, but we're not going to have any after show this week because we want to make sure that you guys tune in for Eric Oakley's Dynamic Discs Raider live Q&A. He's going to go live. Where is he? Do you know where he's at right now?
They're in Texas somewhere.
Texas. So they're from Texas, and they're going to go live out there, and they're going to be answering questions about the Dynamic Disc Raider. So if you have questions about the flight of it, is it a good disc for me or whatnot, Eric Oakley will answer those questions for you. Until then.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you.
Immediately started talking crap.